So for the scene discussion, I'll first talk at the lower level because this is a bit easier to go through. So we have our 4 lines of code that the user can override. Scene initialize is only called once when it's first created. Start and stop was when you lose the current scene focus, and then shutdown is just user code for shutting down. It has a time manager because all time is localized. It's all scene based. Getters for all your managers, and here's all the managers on here. Game object manager, time manager, alarm, mouse input, keyboard input, update, collision, button, and then command Q, and then your current command. And sanitize and all these are for the scene manager. So, the user just overrides this, or inherits from this, and overrides these 4 functions, and they're good to go. Oh, I allow the user to get the time manager, because he just has the get current scene time and get delta time. So, they're handy little guys to get. So, the way this is stored is on the scene manager has an array of scenes based off the number of scenes, which is defined over here. Activist resources, scene settings. Burp. Number of settings, number of scenes, 3. And you give the names of each scene, and then define the starting scene. So the user interacts with this by get current scene. That just returns it based off of, actually literally what the current scene is. That was not too fancy. So create scene is templatized. So a big thing with this is I wanted to hide all memory of the scene away from the user. So now I can get it so they give me a type and a name, and I can create it all. And then destroy it. They just give you the name, and it'll destroy the scene at that location. Change scene, you just give the scene you want to be at. Get scene, give the scene you want to be at, or you want to get. And then things get a little funky with trying to do the templatized code in here. So that's why you see this weird friend hack. And then in here, where you can see where you can create scene, see, you just create a new scene of type T. Oh, and then you'll see a lot of the scene manager is all done through commands. Later on, when I get into the multi-threading, I'll explain why exactly it has to be that way. So, the way the user calls all this is they go to start game. Burp. Now they call scene manager create scene. Give it a type of scene test, which is down here. Scene test. Oops, didn't mean to jump to it. And you give it a scene 1. And you can do the same thing for scene 2 test, scene 2, scene 3 test, scene 3. And at the end of the game, we just go through and just destroy scene 1, 2, and 3. And that's all we need to do to go. Alright, so scene test, you override scene. We have an object that's on line 16, so you also have to inherit from line 16 here. Yeah, I want to figure out if there's a way to get rid of that, but I can't think of one for the meantime. So, you have a scene, your 4 functions override, these little scene swapper button, or input guys I have. And there you go. When you create a scene, you have to give it its name. Scene 1. This is, I made it so it's easy. When you create it with a name, and then now you get the scene name as part of the object. We can go back up here. Scene. Yeah, protected, you get a scene name. The reason I want that is now all of the objects that need to know what scene they're going to be registered into, you just pass this scene's scene name. So I could rename this to scene 2. Yeah. And all those guys would follow suit. This would break a lot of things in our specific case, but that's the idea. Is you only have to define the enum once here, and everyone else just gets a reference to that. Scene 3, same idea. Name it scene 3, and pass the scene name around. Scene 2, very bare bones right now, and just name it scene 2.